Good afternoon, everybody. Right, you can sit there, but you've got to sit quietly. You're listening. Honestly, I've disturbed her for the second day in a row, so she's not happy. This is my cat, by the way. She's not a happy bunny. But hello, everyone. So it's been a mad few hours, honestly. Right, you're going to have to go over there. Go over there. For people who have absolutely no idea what this is all about, I'll give you a mega quick synopsis, but I'm just going to pretty much get straight into it because I've got some stuff I want to show you, some stuff I found out, and some stuff I perhaps still need to look into. And that's where you guys come into it, because I want some help. Ow! Honestly, I just get attacked. Right, go away. Go in the window. Go on. Not in the mood. This is my I've been up since 5 a.m. face. So I'm really not in the mood for nonsense. So thanks for joining me at short notice. I was looking at this afternoon. It's like currently 5 p.m. for me. I was looking at this afternoon and I thought I'm just going to do a live and we can just look at it all together. So that's what I've planned to do. I Love You says 12:50 to 12:52 is supposed to look interesting as well. We'll get into that. Didn't Sammy receive a call at 12:36? If she did, she must be wrong. She must be wrong. If this is Kiely's car, and it's a big if, right? It's a big if. Personally, having looked at this footage at least 50 times now, I think it is, but it could be something else. So ideas and stuff welcome. I've got subscribers only mode on, just in case the chat gets mad. I don't think it will, because it's very early in the day for Americans. So I don't think it'll get too mad. I've put subscribers only mode on, but only like 20 seconds. But if it gets annoying, just let me know and I'll take it off. If we don't get that busy, we'll take it off. Okay. So, for those who have absolutely no idea what's going on, right at the end of Zav Girl's live last night, somebody sent her a link to a camera feed. And she did. And at 12:34 p.m. on the 6th of August, the camera is facing Prosser Reservoir. And it looks like there are lights that go into the lake. I made a video very early this morning. I didn't know what on earth was going on, to be honest. And I looked at it from Zav Girl's footage and thought, oh my word, that looks bad. That really does look like car headlights going into a lake. When I started reading my comments, people were like, no, it's inconclusive, and that's what inspired me to do some more research. So, we'll start off with where the cameras are, right? So these are cameras, like safety cameras for things like fire. And you can get these feeds for cameras basically all over America. So I found two different sites that show the same camera. So I'll show you what I mean. So this one is a live feed. This is live now, right? And this is alertwildfire.org. And this camera is on Alder Hill, which I'll show you in a second. And this camera moves. So this morning, I took a screenshot of it and I put it on my community tab. And it was facing Prosser Reservoir. So this is Alder Hill. This is Prosser Reservoir here, right? That's Prosser Reservoir there. So about there was where Kiely's car was found. So the camera moves throughout the day. So currently it's facing away from Prosser Reservoir. That's a live feed, right? And you can change cameras to literally, there's loads of them, like throughout the US. Like you can go through, and these are all the cameras and the direction they're facing in. Right, look. And you can log in. Look, I'm in the UK, right? And I can log into these cameras. I can log into any one of these cameras and look at a live feed. See, look, I've inadvertently changed camera, and that's the live feed now. I don't know where I'm logged into, but I'm logged into somewhere in the desert. Just move that up. All right, look. And you can change cameras just very easily by clicking on them. So I'm on Buckskin Mountain there. That's the camera feed, the live camera feed from Buckskin Mountain. So I found that first. And then I looked for the camera feed that Zav Girl was using. I'm coming onto that electric. Did I put the date and time when AWP and Ellie and FBI found Kiely's car? Yes, I did. But the camera was facing away at that time. As I said, these cameras move. So this morning, as I said, I'll show you, I've got it on my desktop. That was a live feed this morning. And the camera on Alder Hill was facing towards Prosser Reservoir. And it was very, very clear. And you can see that little point there is about where Kiely's car was. But the camera since has now moved. It's changed direction. But it's not that site that I'm interested in. It's this site. So this is the site that Zav Girl was sent. And it's this site that you can put in any date and any time you want. This is currently a live feed, or at least it was when I turned it on. All right. So let's show you first, before we get into the times and look at this. They are a new toy. They are a new toy. I didn't know I could log in. Like I know I'm 4,000 miles away from Tennessee, so I'm going to be twice that. Right, I'm thousands of miles away, and I can get a live feed looking at Prosser Reservoir. But this camera is on Alder Hill. Right, so where is Alder Hill? This is Alder Hill. Right, so it's pretty high. So there's some buildings on top. I don't know whether you can see that very well, but there's some buildings on top. So presumably the camera is on top of one of these buildings, right? And the top of Alder Hill, if we look right down at the bottom here, the elevation, when I put my cursor on top of Alder Hill, it's 2,053 meters above sea level. Okay. So that's Alder Hill. Now, if we zoom out, I'm going to zoom out that much, right? So you can see Alder Hill is like the highest point. There's Alder Hill. Turn my brightness up a bit, right? That's Alder Hill. So they've got the camera on the highest point for that particular small area. And Prosser Reservoir is, zoom out a bit more, is just over in this direction. Over here, right? So when the camera on Alder Hill here faces Prosser Reservoir. It gets a really good view of it. And it just so happened that at 12:34 on the 6th of August, 12:34 a.m. on the 6th of August, that camera on Alder Hill was facing Prosser Reservoir. And it's about 2 point something miles away. All right, so if I do my measuring tool, you won't be able to see this very well. But if I do a measure from Alder Hill to Prosser Reservoir, where Kiely's car was, it's 2.4 miles as the crow flies. So that's how far away the camera is. All right. So not far at all. I mean, I think if you stood on top of Alder Hill, you'd be able to see Prosser Reservoir. Like Rivington is the highest point for me. Like it's like the top of Rivington, which is the hills that you can see in the distance when I'm walking sometimes. And I face the camera towards it, you can see Rivington in the distance. And it's about, I don't know how far it is as the crow flies, maybe about 7-8 miles. And when you're on top of Rivington, you can see the sea from top of Rivington. And the sea from Rivington must be 20-30 miles away as the crow flies. So if you stood on top of Alder Hill, and some of you who are local, there won't be many Californians watching this because, you know, it's early in the morning for you. Well, mid-morning for you. If you stood on Alder Hill, you should be able to see Prosser Reservoir. Absolutely no problem whatsoever. They are the fire spotting cameras. Absolutely. Yeah. And they're not toys. They're not toys. But when you realize that you can log in from anywhere in the world and look at a live feed, it kind of feels like a toy. There's a novelty value to it. But obviously, they're not there for people just to play with for novelty. They are there for a reason. And yeah, they're all over the place and you can log in. All right, so that's kind of where the camera's positioned, and the camera moves throughout the day. So this camera on Alder Hill currently is facing away somewhere. I don't know exactly in what direction. I think it'll be facing maybe here, something like that, or here. But this morning, as I said, it was panned over in this direction. And this was a screenshot I took from the live feed at Prosser Reservoir. So that's how clear it was for me. Very clear. Okay. So does everybody understand what we're talking about here? These are cameras that are, I guess, they're like the safety cameras. They're to check for wildfires. They're to give people advance warning. And they're placed on high points on top of hills, and they survey, presumably somebody checks these cameras, they survey the landscape. And I love you. During COVID, I watched world famous locations devoid of people. How on earth do you access these cameras? Well, I've put the links in the description box of this video. So I've put the links to the camera that I had up before, which I've now turned off, but I'll put it back on. This camera, which is the live feed off Alder Hill. So it's facing, there's Prosser. It's facing away from Prosser at the moment. So that's a live feed. That's how clear it is. Very, very clear. Right. So it's morning there in California. It's not Google Earth. These are cameras. These are cameras that are set, like long range cameras that are set, and they move around to spot wildfires in the landscape. Thank you, Debbie, for the £5. You are very welcome. Thank you for your generosity. Okay, so this is one. This is called alertwildfire.org. And then the camera that enables you to put in any time you want is on another website, which is called alertca.live/cam console. And the Alder Hill camera is /1781. You don't have to remember that. The link to this very camera is in the description box of this video. Yes, Sandy, wildfire cameras. This is Google Earth. This is Google Earth. I'm showing you where Alder Hill is in relation to Prosser Reservoir on Google Earth. But this, right, this isn't a live feed. Google Earth is not a live feed. Contrary to what some people believe, it's not a live feed. The image capture on this here, the imagery date was 5/12/2021. So Google Earth does not give you a live feed. But if you log into one of these websites that gives you a live feed for certain locations where there are cameras, then you can get a live feed. Get it? All right. So let's now turn to the 6th of August, 12:34. Let's turn to that. So I need to put in it will rectify itself. This confused me at first. It confused Zav at first. And I watched Zav's and I did it. I played Zav's as Zav was being told how to do it by someone in her chat. I was doing it at the same time. So I've learned how to do this. So whoever it was that showed Zav, that gave Zav this address, thank you so much. If you ever watch this video, thank you so much, because it's the one probably most helpful thing that I've seen in a long time. It really is. All right. So we are going to Saturday, 6th of August, 2022. And can you see that I'm doing this real time? I wanted to show you this because I had some people in my comments today saying this was fake. It's not fake. I'm doing this in real time. If you can follow this with me, do this with me. Right? If you're not working and you've got the time, do this with me. Right? So the link is in the description box to this very camera. Right? So you click on the little clock button and it gives you an opportunity to put any date in you want. Right? It's not fake. These are genuine wildfire cameras. There's loads of websites that show these cameras, but this one just so happens that you can wind back to any date you want, right? And look at what the camera feed was. Yes, so you right. So what I need to do is put in what 12:30 a.m. would have been for me. And I'm 8 hours ahead of California, right? So I've got to put in 8:30 a.m., right? So I want 8:30 a.m. I'm going to do it from 12:30, right? So Saturday, 6th of August, 2022, 8:30 a.m. And I apply that. And it gives me now the feed that was happening at 12:30 a.m. I can't move it, unfortunately. I can't scroll. It doesn't allow me to scroll. It's a fixed image. It'll let me zoom in, but it won't let me scroll. Right, so what I need to do next, if you're following along, you need to press O on your keypad, on your keyboard. Not 0. It's the letter O, right? So click the letter O, and then the real time comes up. So it's now converted my 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 Pacific time. Where is the link she mentioned, Patty? It's in the description box of this very video. And it's the alertca.live link. And I've put the full link in. I've put the full URL in. So it will give you this camera. Okay. So it's converted my time into Pacific time. So all I need to do now is click play. Right. So let's be clear. Saturday, 6th of August, 2022. And I'm playing it from 12:30. Right. Once I click play, it will start playing. But what I'm going to do at the same time is I'm going to show Google Earth, and I'm going to zoom into Prosser Reservoir, and I'm going to try to line it up as well as best I can, so that we can see as best we can where those lights are all coming from, right? So I've done this afternoon, and I was somewhat successful, but you've got to kind of line it up. All right, so this is Prosser Reservoir, and I've put it on the same angle as the camera is at. And let's just familiarize ourselves with this. I know I'm doing it drawn out and probably really boring, but this is the reason why I wanted to do it live. And this is the reason why I wanted to do it in real time and show you exactly my thought process, exactly what I'm doing. And then no one can come along and say that it's fake. And I'm not going to try and convince anybody that these lights are Kiely's car. I think they are, personally, but that's just my personal opinion. Right? And I, since Adventures with Purpose came out, I've been, this is foul play. I've been foul play all the way since Adventures with Purpose. Right? Previous to that, right in the early days, I was 50-50. I was thinking it could be an accident or it could be foul play. I don't know. And then when Sammy and the others started coming out and talking, and they were just so shady, I thought, oh, they're up to something. There's something that they're hiding. And I went more towards the foul play. When Kiely's car was found, though, and I saw exactly where she was found, and she was found about here. So this is the Google imagery is from 2020 at this point, at this area here. And you can see just how dry the reservoir is, because that at the moment is full. When Kiely's car was found, that was filled with water. That's just a sandbank in like 2020. What was this? 10/24/2020. That was a sandbank. The reservoir was really low, right? So it looks a bit different. But this is the top of the hill, and then the car goes down the hill and into the reservoir. And it was found at the time it was found, it was 55 feet out, right? So it was about here somewhere. All right, so it comes down this hill and down, and that doesn't look very steep. That really doesn't look very steep on this, even if I even if I switch it, it still doesn't look steep, but it is. And you can tell that by the elevation change. So if you look here at elevation, at the water's edge, the elevation is 1748 meters above sea level. But if you go to the top of the hill, it's 1755, 1756. So there's quite a few meters of elevation change. I mean, it's not a steep hill, but it's steep enough for a car to roll down there and you not be able to stop. Okay. So let's familiarize ourselves with the path. So this is the route that Kiely would have gone, whether voluntarily or not, and her car would have gone down this hill into the reservoir. The party was around here somewhere. This is kind of the area where they call the sanctuary. And then this is the intersection. If you've been listening to some of the kerfuffle that's been going on, some of the nonsense that's been going on, and some of the claims that have been made by people who've been talking to YouTubers, like people like the Jane Does and whoever, Elsa, there was an argument, and a kid about 1240 parked his vehicle and wouldn't let anybody out. And he parked it at this intersection because as people are coming out of the sanctuary, they'd go down here. Most probably they'd go down here, and then you'd turn left to get onto the paved road. And once you get here, this is the paved road. The paved road goes to the actual camp, Prosser campground. But the party was actually not at the campground. It was over the other side. It was here in the trees. And this is not paved roads. This is just sandy, kind of rocky roads with potholes in. Very drivable, because I've seen several people drive them. I've been watching people drive them as people have been, you know, doing this as tests and experiments and things. Right, so very drivable. So the kids have been parking in here, and then when they've wanted to leave, they've gone up here, took a left, got onto the paved road, which then takes them back to the highway, right? Good stuff. There's other roads as well. So if I zoom out just a little bit, there's roads along here because people play around the reservoir like on ATVs and things like that. So there's like tracks and stuff. So there's a track down the hill here. There's a track that runs round the whole reservoir. You wouldn't be able to use this at the moment, I don't think, because I don't know. You actually might be able to at the moment because the reservoir is really low now. But I would imagine that when the reservoir's high, that you can't get across here. You probably couldn't get across here. I don't know. Looks like there's a little creek or something, a stream or something there. But there is a track. You could probably walk across, but I don't know whether you could drive across. You may be able to, I don't know. But there's tracks and people play on ATVs and stuff. So there's more than one route out. You could go this way. I don't know why you'd go this way. You might go that way to get onto the highway. That would be an easier way if you were familiar with the roads, because but that takes you, like, that's just a dirt road the whole way to the highway, and presumably you can get on the highway. I don't know. But what I think the kids would have done is gone this way, up here, chuck a left, and then very quickly that takes you to the paved road, and then you can just go up there onto the highway. All right. I was pretty solid in the accident camp until AWP duped me. I don't feel that the word duping is the right word to use. I follow information. That's made available. So when Kiely's car was found, I thought this could very easily be an accident. So I went to 90% accident, 10% foul play. I never excluded foul play completely because it could always be something that we don't expect. But then when Tow Truck Guy came out, and I thought that really could be Kiely's car. That really could be Kiely's car. What if that is Kiely's car? Right? Because I think that Nick, the tow truck guy, told his truth. I really do believe he told his truth. That doesn't mean to say it was definitely Kiely's car. It could have been a car that looked like Kiely's with a blonde-haired girl who looked like Kiely. Right? He could have told his truth and sounded very, very credible. Right? That law enforcement will know, though. Law enforcement has Nick's dash cam footage. They have Nick's call logs that their company holds. Right? Nick doesn't have access to those. So Nick could have been, you know, could be just as much in the dark as everybody else. So I don't think using the word duping is the right word to use. But I was what if? And I think I convinced myself that this could very well be foul play. And I never excluded accident ever. But this is so strange. You know, the totality of everything, this is so strange. You know, why? Anyway. Like I said, I'm not going to play this footage now. I'm not going to play this with the aim of trying to convince anybody that this is Kiely's car, because I don't know. I personally think it is, but you need to make up your own minds, right? So if you're following along with me, we're going to play the footage now. And what I'm going to try and do is position this so that I can play it alongside or show you. Right. So let's rewind a bit. Saturday, 6th of August, 2022 at 12:30 Pacific time. That's what's going to start playing right now. Okay, so we're playing it now. So what you'll see is lights moving. Hold on, I'll just pause it a second. I want to just make that a bit smaller so I can get a better angle of what that looks like. Okay. It's kind of more like that, I think. Okay, so what I think you're seeing, and this isn't very clear, I can zoom it in a bit more. What I think you're seeing is these are lights along these roads here. So there's lights along here, and I think there's lights along here as well, down this bottom area. I think. Right, so I'm going to start playing it. So we're at 12:30 and 22 seconds. So play. It is strange. Jersey's garage. And I think the headlights show up so well because the camera's high and it's so dark. So it's not like there's lots of competing light sources. It's so dark. So these headlights are showing up like really big. Now, remember, this is 2.4 miles away. But what you've got is a series of lights along here. And it looks to me like they're on this path here. Okay. And we've got some lights up here as well, which I think could be that path. I might be wrong. Can I move that down? Okay, so we're at 12:32 now. Now there's a light here that moves towards the lake. The lake's here. moves towards the lake. All the other lights are around here. So you can see, I've just paused it a second. You can see the outline of this here. Can you see the outline of this little kind of thing that juts out? You can see the outline there, I believe. And then you can just about see the outline of the bottom of that hill there, which will be where that track is. That's what I think. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing. So this light here is heading in the direction of the lake. Okay. So we're now at 12:33 and 30 seconds. So watch this light. This light. So we're at 12:34 and 12 seconds. So there's more lights up top here. There's more lights moving around. But carry on watching this light. Gone. It goes about 12:34 and about 42 seconds. And what I believe is the car is going down here and it goes into the lake. That's what I believe I'm seeing. But I want you to carry on watching, because what we witness is the exodus. We've already seen some cars, some lights playing around here. There's a lot of lights, though, around this area, which I think is here, down the bottom, here. And that light that's gone into the lake never comes back. It never comes back. I've seen people saying it comes back. It doesn't come back. It does not come back. There's other lights. Look, there's all these lights here. Now, I can't say how many cars that is, but it's a few. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. I'm just pause this for a second. Swear something fly. It's gone now. Have you fast forward 8 hours to see what it looks like in daylight in that perspective? Thank you for the $10, Karen, Texas. Please show next to daytime clear view. Yeah, I will. That was the same camera. This is my desktop view at the moment. That's the same camera from earlier today in daylight. That's the same camera. So what we're seeing is this jutty out bit here. This jutty out bit. I mean, I've enlarged that a little. That's the jutty out bit there. That's the jutty out bit there. That's the bit of the reservoir that's right at the back there. The boat ramp is about here. So about here. And then this is the channel bit. And then this is the other part of the reservoir here. So that's today. All right. And it's 2.4 miles as the crow flies from the top of Alder Hill looking across. I think you could easily see the reservoir. You could probably even see people on the reservoir if you were stood on top of Alder Hill. Maybe quite not 2.4 miles. You could do you could see for miles, right? Can you tilt Google Earth view to line up with the mountains? Then you can follow the roads better. I'm lining it up to follow the roads here. Right. So I just need to make it smaller. Right. So what we're seeing on Google Earth is this is the big part of the reservoir. That's where the boat ramp is there. So that's the big part of the reservoir there. That's the channel there. That's the jutty out bit there. That's the area where Kiely's car went in there, which is there. Okay. And there's less water in this. This was from 2020. This Google Earth view looks a bit different because it's from 2020. And clearly it was the reservoir was very low then. It just looks really low. Right. It's a little bit higher now. Right. So that's what we're seeing. So the lights along here are probably lights around here. There must be cars along here. And the lights that you see moving, I think, are on this track here. I think. You get lost in geography. I've got quite good spatial skills, so I think it helps. But you can line it up with the mountains. Not a problem if you zoom out. There's your mountains, look. So there's that mountain, there. There's that mountain, there. So in daytime, there's that mountain. That'll be that mountain. And then behind this is that mountain. There. So the mountains line up. Easily. It's the same view. It's the same view. Look. Same view. Look. Exactly the same. Just that that's real, and this is from a satellite. So you don't get that's taken from 2.4 miles away. That's taken from however far a satellite is. So it does look a bit different. But anyway, I want to keep playing this. I want to play it till about 10 to 1. And then I'm going to play it all again and go through it all one more time. And I would strongly encourage anybody to do this themselves. Do it yourself. Play around with it yourself. I always say to people, do your own research. Look at it yourself. Don't believe what I say. Don't believe what Zav Girl says or your favourite YouTuber. Don't believe us. All I'm doing, I've just given you the tools, right? Somebody in Zav's chat gave her this tool and she used it. I have learnt from that. And now I'm giving you the benefit of the little knowledge I've learned today. And I'm giving you the tool. And that's why I've put this link, alertca.live, with the / all the information to take you directly to this camera. Yeah, you'll play with it. Yes, Andy. Well, this is how we learn, isn't it? This is how we learn and how we get better. Understanding what went on. And surely that's what we should do. If we're investing our time, effort, and you're watching all of this content, then surely it's got to be as well researched as it can be. And if we have these kind of tools, then we should use them. And yeah, we have to draw some inference because this is really dark. We have to compare it with another map. We have to compare it and make of it what you will. If you don't think that's Kiely's car, then what is it? What is it? Do you see what I mean? Because these are clearly car headlights moving about. So what is that one that went into the lake? What is that one? Now, what I could do is screen record this and then put it in my editor and brighten it up a bit. I don't know how well I could brighten it up, because it's not gonna make it, if I zoom in, it's gonna just make it really pixelated. But I could brighten up the whole image. But you can only do that, you know, so far. I mean, what you're better doing is doing this yourself and looking at it from different zoom, you know, zoom it in, see if you can see more. You know, when we do it next time, I'm going to play that. I'm just going to keep playing it now. I'm going to play it to like 10 to 1. So another 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And then I'm going to do it all again. I'm going to reset it and I'm going to do it all again, and I'll zoom it in. Now, oops. What we see now is I think this is the exodus of people moving, because there was loads of lights here. Now they seem to be moving. They seem to be moving away and going up there. Can you see? So they're going up there, back towards the highway. That's what it looks like to me. Now, I think there's been a lot of stationary cars sitting with the lights on so that they've got some light so that they can see what they're doing. So I don't think there's anything nefarious with loads of cars being sitting with the lights on, given how dark it is. They're probably just sitting there in the cars chatting to each other. But these lights are moving. Now, like I said, I can't tell you how many cars are there. Could I right-click on the still frame, choose save, and then see what automatic name it stores under? Why? Why? What purpose would that be? Save image as. Just a lot of numbers. It doesn't come up with a name. It's just a lot of numbers. So there's some more lights down here, which I think are down there. There's lights up here, which I think is there. That road there that takes you back to the highway. There's loads. I wouldn't want to count. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, possibly another one there, possibly another one there. It's difficult to tell. And the reason why I think we're seeing these lights so clearly, as I said before, is because the camera is magnifying these lights because everywhere else is so dark. You know, if this was a well-lit area, then these lights wouldn't show up so brightly. So there's one there that's stationary. There's one there that's moving. This one's stationary at the moment. I think it'll be on this road here. Who published this footage? You're going to have to rewind. No one's had to do an FOI request. Mia Media Mogul. Rewind. This is just a camera. It's a Wildfire's camera. And you can access this from anywhere in the world. You don't have to FOI request it. I'm going to do it all again for people who've just come in, and to just do it all again for anybody who wants to follow along. But you can see now that there's not a lot of activity going on at the moment. This is now 1:45. There's not a lot of activity going on now. There's one there. There's one that's been stationed there for ages. Probably like, I don't know what they're doing. Who knows? There's one there that's stationary. I think that's over the other side, possibly. Difficult to tell exactly where they are, but the ones that we are seeing closer, I think, are along this road here, down the bottom. Because you can see the hill there, which will be where the sanctuary is. There. See the trees. Dogging, hippie chick. They might be. They might be dogging. Somebody's going to say, what's dogging? Somebody's going to say, what's dogging? Right, look at all this activity now. All these car lights have come on. So there were cars there. They just didn't have the lights on. So this one's been stationary for a while. This one's now moving. It's fascinating. It's absolutely fascinating. Now they're all moving. So they're going to be going along here, and they're going to go up there, and they're going to go round there back to the highway, in my opinion. And they are, look, that one's going. I mean, the camera's a little bit jumpy. But there's nobody who's gone down to the lake. There's no one who's gone down there. That area. No one's gone down there. Desire of the Heart says, seeing a car driving into the lake means nothing. It's a given because that's where she was found, but we still don't know how she got there. Absolutely. Absolutely, we don't know how she got there. Absolutely. We don't know how she got there. Did she drive in there because she just went the wrong way? Or did someone push her down there? We don't know. We don't know, but we know the time. What I think is we know the time now. And we know no other cars with lights on, at least, went near there. That car there is probably the closest that there's ever been to going down. I think that's on top of the hill. So that'll be somewhere like around here, I think. It's sitting there on top of the hill. But I think most of them have gone now. It does, Selena Hope. It does. Matches up with her phone ping. It does. It really does. So that's now 52 minutes to 1. And it's pretty much dark now. It looks like pretty much everyone's gone. Now, I could carry on playing this and there could be a whole another set of lights that turn on as more people leave. I don't know. But I think the mass exodus that's been talked about, I think we have seen that on this. And they don't all go at once. They go in little fits and spurts by the looks of things. Gone, or did they turn off the lights? Some of them might have turned off the lights. Some of them might have just moved round. So moved from this side of the hill to the other side of the hill. They absolutely might have. Because some of them stayed there. Some people stayed there. Some of them slept there. So they might just have been down by the kind of this side of the lake here, partying, and then went to a safer spot in the trees to go to sleep. So yeah, not everybody will have left because some people slept there. We know that. We've been told that some people slept there. So it does give you chills, Dia Crawford. It does give you chills. I've watched this about 50 times now. I think I've pretty much desensitized myself to it. But certainly the first 5 times I watched it, I thought I'm watching someone literally driving to their death. That's how I felt. That's how I felt. Okay, so right, I'm gonna do it again. So if you want to follow along with me, then we're going to do it again, and we're going to zoom in a little bit more, because I had it zoomed out because I had Google Earth next to it. But let's do it one more time, and then I'll leave you to play with it in your own time. Let's do it one more time. So is there a reset button? Let's just okay. So this takes me to the general camera. Okay, I need to zoom out a bit. Okay. Where's my little button gone? Where's my button gone? That's annoying. Oh, there we go. You've got to, right. So you've got to click on Alder Hill to get the little button that looks like a clock. Right. So click on that, and then it'll give you a space to put your time in. Hopefully. Why is it not doing it? Why is it not doing it? That's weird. There we go. Okay. So that's what it looks like currently. That's now. All right. That's now. Okay. So we're going to change the time to August the 6th, Saturday, August the 6th. And because I'm 8 hours ahead of California, I've got to put in my time. It's weird. I've got to put in my time, and then it will convert it. It's just weird. But that's what we've got to do. So I want to start at 12:30 a.m. So I'm going to put in 8:30 a.m. All right. So 8:30 a.m. Click apply. So you'll have to put your time zone in. So if you're, I don't know, if you live in New York, then you'll put whatever the time is in New York. So 12:30 a.m. in California is going to be what? 3:30 a.m. in New York, I think. Marilyn, I'm starting at 12:30. Right. Why is it giving me 8 o'clock? I wanted 8:30. Did I do that? I did that. I did that. Right. Okay. So you get the image that you want. Now you've got to turn it on. I know. It's been a long day. It's been a long day. I know. I put in 8 a.m. I know. Right. Okay. So what you do is you click O. Right. Not 0. O. So press O to access the control panel. Press O and a control panel comes up. So it now tells me the time that it's going to play in Pacific time. So Saturday, August the 6th, 2022 at 12:30 a.m. Pacific time. Desire of the heart. If you can't see if someone pushed her in, then what's the point? The point is we know the time that it's likely Kiely went in the lake. We also see lots of other cars around her. Lots of other cars in the area. So I think that tells us a lot. No, it doesn't tell us if someone pushed her in or whether she drove in herself. But it tells us that that car, in my opinion, went in at 12:34. Not the day after, not the day after that, not a week after that. That tells us a lot. In my opinion, but you might you don't disagree. Like I said at the beginning, I'm not trying to convince anybody here. I'm not trying to convince anybody that this light is Kiely's car. And I certainly don't know whether someone was pushing the car or whether it was driving. It certainly looked like it was going at a consistent speed, though. But it's difficult to tell because the camera's jumpy. Yes, I have, Blockella. I have. We've watched it up to 5-1. So we've watched 25 minutes after this. And this afternoon, I watched it from about 11 p.m. And you see lights on, lights off, there's lights all over the place. You can stick with tow truck guy, that's absolutely fine, Trevor. But then what you've got to do is explain what that light is that went into the lake. What was it? Little Angel, Michelle takes a lot of credit for things she didn't actually do. Oops. I don't know what you're talking about, Little Angel, because I've explained that it was someone in Zav Girl's chat last night that gave Zav Girl this address and showed Zav Girl how to do it. Zav Girl worked out how to do it. Right? I saw that live. I got the address. And I've learned how to do it. Not difficult, is it? This is how research progresses. And now I'm showing you what I've done. I'm showing you how you can do it. You might have already known how to do it. And that's great. I didn't know how to do it till today. So that's how research progresses. Clearly, you've not had a research career, as I have, because that's how research progresses. You learn from people who've got that knowledge, and then you pass that knowledge on, and you extend that knowledge if you can, if it's appropriate to do so. So, Little Angel, maybe you're in the wrong channel. Maybe you're at the wrong address. Click off and go somewhere else. But thank you for subscribing, because I've got subscribers only mode on. Okay, so we're going to zoom it in a little bit, and we're going to play it from 12:30. Can I zoom it in anymore? Yes, I can. You see, the trouble is, if you zoom it in a lot, it pixelates, which then makes it even more difficult to see. All right, so don't think I can zoom it anymore without it being really bad. Oh, thank you, Cecile. Thank you so much for the 19.99. Thanks for being me with an avocado. I've not got even any avocados. That's upsetting. Not actual avocados. Sassafras. Didn't know either, and I watched Zav Girl. It was right at the end. It was right at the end, like the last, I want to say, half an hour, 3/4 of an hour, right at the end. Like Zav was talking about something else, and someone gave this information, and it's great information to have, because we can do this for other cases now. Right, we can use these cameras and look to see if there's a camera close to another case. So this isn't just knowledge that helps with this case. This knowledge helps with a multitude of future cases. So the knowledge is up there. So no, I'm taking no credit whatsoever for this knowledge, because loads of people have got this knowledge already. Have I searched other cameras in the area? Not like, why would I need to? What am I looking for other cameras in the area? You have to have a specific reason to look for a specific camera because they're all over the place. Right, this is the closest camera to Prosser Reservoir. It's 2.4 miles away. Yeah, I've already talked about that, deets on the streets. Could I look at the date that AWP was there and see if we can see them on camera? We can't. If you rewind back to the beginning, I said I did that. I did that this afternoon. And because the camera moves throughout the day, it's just unfortunately wasn't facing Prosser Reservoir at that time. It was facing the other direction because it moves throughout the day. So it was just by chance that it was facing in this direction at this crucial time. Please go to 2154. Oops, that went 08. So the 5th, you'll see the same lights. What, exactly the same lights? I will do. How about cameras by Beech Creek? I'll have a look. I don't know. Because these are like throughout California because they're affected by wildfires. I'm guessing that they don't have wildfire cameras in places that are not heavily affected by wildfires. Thank you, Marjorie, for the $9.99. An avocado fan, #1 fan. Another avocado. Do I have the energy to go to the shop to see if they've got any avocados? Because my local shop sometimes has avocados, but usually doesn't. I'm probably not gonna, but I will go tomorrow because you're making me really fancy avocado on toast. Like we get what, like we occasionally Rivi gets on fire when it's really hot. But the last proper wildfire we had over Rivi was 2018. So we don't have special wildfire cameras up the top of Rivi, but you can see it for miles around. So when Rivi sets on fire, everybody can see it. I could see it from where I live, and you certainly can smell it. But it's areas where, you know, the landscape is vast. So unless Tennessee suffers a lot from wildfires, then they probably don't have wildfire cameras. But I will have a look. Sammy said she knew where all the cameras were. Yeah, traffic cameras, Marilyn. She said she knew where all the traffic cameras were, but did she bank on knowing where all the wildfire cameras were? It's too wet up north, Juggler. Well, it's not always. Like when we've not had any. We had a really long, dry summer. Like everything was bone dry. And I was thinking, oh God, you know, if somebody, it's usually stupidity. It's usually somebody going hiking, takes a barbecue, you know, one of these disposable barbecues up the top of Rivi and doesn't put it out properly or sets on fire. And it's usually something really ridiculous. But because the earth is bone dry, it will just take off and it will burn. Last time, 2018, it burnt for weeks. Like there was big, like swathes of like, oh, honestly, it was bad. Anyway, right. So let's play this. So I've zoomed in. Right, let's reacquaint ourselves. So this is the back bit of Prosser Reservoir. The boat ramp's about here. That's that channel bit. That's that bit that juts out. Kiely's car was found about here somewhere. And then that's the other section. So the party would have been up here. And there's a track that goes up here. Down like that, down there. And there's a track that goes round the side of the hill, round there. Wrong date. No, it isn't the wrong date. It's not the wrong date. Saturday, 6th of August, 2022 at 12:30 a.m. So Kiely's phone last pinged at 12:33. Now, they did say it was shut off, but can they tell the difference between it being shut off, the battery dies, or it breaks? Can they tell that without having the physical phone? I don't know. Because somebody might say, oh, it's shut off, meaning it ceased to ping. It didn't ping again. I think it's safer to say it didn't ping again. All right, so let's play this. So you're watching lights here. You're watching for a light here. Right, play. Thank you, Cheryl, for the 19.99 and the little heart. Thank you. All right, let's play. I mean, these cameras are so good. Like when you see them in the daylight, they're so clear. And as I said at the beginning, it's only because the landscape is so dark that these headlights, even though the camera's 2.4 miles away, these headlights look bright because there's no competing light sources. I mean, there's the moon, but, you know, I don't think it was especially bright that night. There's certainly no other artificial light sources. So there's cars along here. This is the bottom path. But we start seeing a light coming along here in about a minute. So 12:32. Thank you, Blind Bob, for the $4.99. If you don't know, then why are you here? Didn't Zav already cover this? Thank you for the $4.99, Blind Bob. That's very kind of you to say that. All right, watch this light. So 12:33. And there's no other lights around at this moment in time. Just bear that in mind. There's a light popped on there. But a couple of lights popped on there. But they're over the other side. Watch this light. And it's gone. So there's no other lights around. Now, that doesn't mean to say... It's great, isn't it, when someone pays $4.99 to make an insult? You know, it's great. And thanks for that. But it's great. So there's no other lights around. Now, that doesn't mean to say that there's not people there with no lights, you know, attached to their heads. It doesn't mean to say that there's not other cars there with lights off. It doesn't mean to say that. But what it means to say is there's no other cars that go there, because that's where the lake is. That's the lake there. No other cars go near that place. All the lights are along here. All the lights are along here. And if we go back to Google, they're along here. They're partying along the bottom here, the bottom of this hill. And then when they leave, They're going up here. Look at them all. No. Look at them all. I can't tell you how many lights are there. I can't tell you how many lights are there. But there's a few. Like all these lights came on. So what time is this? Can I make this box smaller? No. 37. Thank you for the $1.99. Blind Bob. I don't know because I can't see. If you're really blind, then how do you know that Zav's covered it? I mean, if you really are blind, then I apologise for saying that. But, you know, if Zav's covered it, then she has. I know she has. I know she has. Because it's Zav's. Thank you, Sasha, for the 10 Canadian dollars. Somebody, I'll say it again, somebody on in Zav's chat sent Zav this link, and Zav put it on, and it was the oh my god moment. Teresa from Criminality was on panel with her, and they had this oh my god moment. Once they worked out how to use it, Zav learned live how to use it. I looked at Zav's live stream when I woke up this morning and thought, oh my god, I had the same reaction that she had. So today I've taught myself how to use it, and now I'm showing you. I don't know what's difficult to understand about that. So we're now on 38 minutes past. So there's a little flurry of lights, and then they kind of go. They either move on or they turn the lights off. Oh, not even playing. So just after that car goes in the lake, there's a flurry of lights. Is that a coincidence? Yes, probably. I don't know. Exactly, Hallibop. Some people don't watch. And this was right at the end of Zav's live. So some people might not have got to the end. Some people might have fallen asleep. I mean, I started watching Crime Stories Obsessed last night, fell asleep before the end. I will go back and watch the rest, but you know, that's what happens. Thank you, Cindy, for the 19.99. Great job. Thank you so much. The more coverage, the better. Absolutely, Caroline. There might be channels that I watch that you don't. There might be channels that you watch that I don't. You know, people come into my comments or on my Facebook group or message me on Twitter and say, have you seen this? And sometimes I've seen it, sometimes I haven't. There's so many videos and channels that I found because people have told me about them. We can't watch everything. We don't have enough time because we have lives as well. Right, we have real lives as well. So there's another flurry now, 41 past. So it does seem that most people leave. Blind Bob, if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. You're spending a lot of money in my chat, Blind Bob. Carry on. Pinging me, it's fine. So it seems to be there was a lot of cars that left from about maybe 12:35 onwards. See, there's a lot moving now. Now, are they going home? Are they moving to go up to the top of the hill to go to sleep in the trees? Like to go and park up? You know, probably don't feel it's quite safe parking by the lake. I don't know. Probably is, but maybe they'll just go further up. You can see the outline there. You can see that line there where the kind of track is, I think. Thank you, Helen, for the £5. It makes me wonder where she was parked when she arrived. If it was with the majority of the cars, why didn't she follow them out? I think she was possibly one of the first that left. There seems to be quite a lot that leave. Should we just play it one more time and put it on, like, let's say 20 past? I have played it from earlier on, and there's lights kind of moving around and this, that, the other. We'll put it on one more time. I'm not going to play it like... okay, let's change it to 0820. Okay. Right, so it'll play now from 20 past 12. So we'll play it from 20 past 12 and we'll see where Kiely, say it is Kiely. Let's play it from there. Sasha, member for 7 months. The more minds to analyse something, the better. Absolutely. That's how research works. That's how research works. I'll move this down. Okay. Right. So we're playing it from 20 past 12. So there's a line of cars here. That's the jutty out bit. That's where the boat ramp is. That's the little channel. Kiely's car was found about here somewhere. Why is the $6 million question? I can't say why. It doesn't give us any whys, but it shows us how. Well, it doesn't. It shows us when. Let's just say it shows us when. In my opinion, it shows us when. Cecile, member for 6 months. Bless you, Michelle. You're my favourite channel. Oh, thank you. So we've got a line of cars with lights on. Take my blind money and enjoy it. Oh, I certainly will, Blind Bob. I certainly will. So we've got 1, 2, 3 lights there. 3 cars. See, I don't know whether it's like, because are these, I think they're just showing up so bright because there's no competing light sources. But would we also see the backlights? You know, because it is a colour camera. It is a colour camera because it's coloured in the day. It's not a black and white camera. So we're seeing, we've got a car there. Oh, big flash there. So there are some cars moving beforehand. But it just seems that this car that goes to the lake, it just seems to be on its own. Like, it's not like it's a line of cars and then one breaks off, if you know what I mean. Like, there's points in this little sequence where you do see a line. There must be like, I don't know, 3 cars maybe coming out at the same time. And that doesn't seem to happen at like 12:32 when that car starts going towards the lake. That doesn't seem to be what's happened. It's like this car just goes off on its own. But why is that? We don't know why. We don't know why that is. We can just say that that's what a car does. And there's obviously no other cars that went into Prosser Lake on that. Nobody else went missing. And no other cars have been found in Prosser Lake. So it has to be Kiely's car. But it doesn't tell us why she went down there. Doesn't tell us whether she went down there as completely as an accident because she was drunk. It doesn't tell us anything like that. We don't know, Blind Bob. Absolutely, we don't know. We don't know. See, there's no line. There's one stop there, one stop there. And it also makes me question the Jane Does who've come out and said that they saw Kiely like wasn't there one? Which one was it? Was it Elsa or was it somebody else? Was it Elsa? I can't remember who it was, but one of them said that they saw Kiely. She went to a car when there was that ruckus going on. And I think it must have been just earlier than they thought. Jane Doe too, to Mr. Tomato Head. I think it must have just been maybe earlier than they thought. And she went to her car at like 12:30, 12:31. Because it doesn't take long to drive down to the lake. There was a question. Oh, it wasn't a question, it was a statement. Nelly, there is a car at 51 that goes down there too. Lights then vanish and one light turns on. Right, well, we've gone past 51 once already, and I didn't notice that, but we'll do it again. We'll go to 51 and have a look. And then I'm gonna leave you be and let you do this yourself. You know, if you want to. So we're now at 30. So there's one light there. There's one light there. So it's not like there's been a load of cars moving at this point. So maybe Kiely was one of the first to come out. You know, the mass exodus happened just after. And it might have only been that cars started leaving at that time. Kiely was one of the first and went the wrong way. I don't know. Or it could have been that. I don't know. I just don't know. It doesn't tell us how or why. But you're looking at this one. This. So there's a car there. There's a car there. And then this starts moving. So this is 12:32. It starts moving towards the lake. So it takes it a couple of minutes to get there, which is about the right amount of time from her being parked up where the sanctuary is down. Because people have driven this route and it probably does take about 2 minutes to go from that party area to the top of that hill. And the camera's jumpy, so it looks to me like it goes at a constant pace, even though it's jumping. It doesn't stop for ages, does it? It just keeps moving. I mean, look, it's still moving, and there it goes, and there it's gone, and it does not come back. It doesn't come back. Blind Bob, no, don't go. If you go, how will we know? You'll have to learn yourself, Blind Bob. You'll have to learn yourself. You'll have to teach yourself how to do it. There was 300 people there and a Spanish party next to them, right? Apparently so. That's what we've been told. That's what we've been told. But you see, you know, a lot of people got a lift you know, shared rides. So 300, maybe there was 100 cars, maybe probably less. I don't know. It does seem an awful lot of cars for a relatively small area. It really does. I mean, you could try and count the cars as they leave, but it's not always easy because you don't always know when there's lights kind of moving. You don't know how many cars are there. Like this is obviously one car. It stays there for ages. Blind Bob, but you don't know. All right, I don't know. You're absolutely right. I've got no idea. I certainly have no idea what you're talking about. That's for sure. But yeah. Why has it stopped? It stopped. Has my internet gone off? Maybe it's just fed up. Oh, it's got the spinning wheel of death on it. I'll fast forward it to 8:48. If you're going to still hear me, if my internet's not gone off, because this seems to have broken. It's probably like you're doing too much, too many. All right, so we're now at, we're now at 48 past. Keep doing it. Is it moving again? Yeah, it's moving again. Right, so we've got to wait for 51. 51. See if there's a car that goes down to the lake and then comes back. Or can't remember what you said now. Oh, I'm still here. Oh, that's good. I wasn't sure. Okay. So we've got 1, 2, 3, possibly. There's maybe 1 or 2 down there. And the lake's here. So this is the lake. Hey, Natasha, finally catching me live. Yeah, Casey, it wants to pay to troll me, and that's the kind of troll that I like. Just keep going. But I am going to be signing off soon. I can't find missing people because I'm blind. Okay. I'm sure that there's plenty of other things you can do with your time. Okay, so we're on 50. So I'm guessing we're talking about this light here. I'm 51 now. Can't remember what she said, that it goes down to lake and then it turns off or something. But there is one that looks like it's stationary by the looks of things. I don't know that it's gone to the lake though. I'm wondering whether it's kind of parked about there, kind of round this corner here. I'm not sure. But it's definitely not gone in the lake, and it's just stayed there. So I think it's someone who's driven along and just parked up with the lights on. Maybe down the bottom of this here. Maybe like there. I don't know. But it's still on and it stays on. So it's not someone who's gone in the lake. It's frozen. Has it? Has it? Oh, it has as well. That's why. That'll be why. It keeps freezing. As long as that, yeah, okay. That's why it doesn't move. Doesn't move when it's frozen. Oh, that's annoying. All right, we'll do it. We'll do it once more, and then I'm going to get off because I've not had anything to eat, so I'm going to get some food. All right, play. All right, play. All right. Why has that gotten really big now? Was it frozen again? No. Hey, it did disappear. Where did it go? Oh, that's really interesting. That's really interesting. I think it's well spotted, whoever it was. I think it's someone who's parked down at the bottom here. I can pause that now. I think possibly, in my opinion, somebody's gone down here and parked up there, like round the side of the lake. Probably, I don't know, to chill out or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. Because, oh, it's still there, look. There it is. Unless it's a different car. Oh, yeah. Honest to God, you could play with this all day and all night. You really could. You could play with this all day and all night. How dare I exploit and make money on a blind man? Well, I don't know. I don't know, Blind Bob. I don't know. I know it's a troll. I know it's a troll, but he's paying me money to troll me. So, anyway, I'm going to continue to play with that in my own time. Oh, it's gone really dark. I didn't know it was so dark in this room. Does it show the 22nd? Oh, I can go back to StreamYard now. Excuse me. Does it go back to 22nd? It does. However, the camera at the time, I'll just turn this off because it'll bug me. At the time that they were getting the car out of the lake, it was faced, the camera is facing another direction because the camera throughout the day moves. So, like, for some of the day it faces towards Prosser Reservoir, for some of the day it faces away. It goes in different directions. So unfortunately, I did check for that time that they were getting the car out to see whether I could see anything, but it's facing the other direction. They didn't hear the car go in. What would you hear though? What would you hear? Because it's not like it went off a big cliff and there'd be a big splash. It would kind of just like going like quietly. Like when you launch a boat off a boat ramp, it's not loud, is it? It's not like it. So I don't know how loud it would be, to be honest. It is real. It is real. Right. These are cameras that are set up throughout the United States to monitor the environment for wildfires. I've put you 2 links in the description box of this video. Under this video, there are 2 links to 2 different cameras, right? One of them will give you a live feed, a consistent live feed. And one of them, the one that I've been using, will allow you to put any date in, and it will allow you to take you back to that time period. We've not made this up. This is a camera that's available. It's there to monitor wildfires. This is not a big conspiracy where people have set up cameras just to oh dear me. No, law enforcement. What? Maybe law enforcement have got this information and have checked this camera. I hope they have. I really hope they have. That they would. It might be one of the first. Mind you, I was going to say, surely this would have been one of the first things they checked, but clearly they didn't. Clearly they didn't. So, have they checked it now? I hope they have. I hope they have. Well, all I can say is that you see lights from vehicles, clearly car lights, because there's nothing else it can be. And you see one that goes down to the lake, into the lake, and doesn't come back. And Kiely's is the only car, the only missing person from that time period who disappeared. So just a basic common sense would tell you that that is Kiely's car. What it doesn't tell us is why and how she did that. It doesn't tell us whether she literally just went down there because she went the wrong way because she was drunk. And it doesn't tell us whether there was someone else in the car with her. It doesn't tell us anything else like that. It doesn't tell us whether Kiely was driving. But what it gives us is a time period to work from. And 12:34 and some change, 12:34 and about 40 seconds, that car goes in that lake and does not come back out. That's what it tells us. So we've got, we can stop now with, and certainly I can stop now thinking, did that car go in the day after? Did that car go in a week after? Was that car there all the time? Or, were law enforcement so stupid that they just missed it? It gives us that kind of information. It gives us that kind of knowledge to start from, right? And then we make of it what you will. That's why I said at the beginning, I'm not trying to convince anybody that this is definitely Kiely's car. I think it is, but that's just my opinion. But if you don't think it's Kiely's car, what was it? What light source was strong enough to be seen 2.4 miles away that went down to that lake, clearly went down, right down to that lake and did not come back? What time source was that? Absolutely. It gives us a timeline. It gives us a time point, right, to work on. It doesn't tell us why, it doesn't tell us how, but it gives us a when. And I think that is really, really important. Because we don't have much else, do we? That's why everybody's been theorizing and making stuff up, because we don't know. None of us knows. We only know the little that law enforcement have told us. And then we've got stuff from these Jane Does and a little bit from Sammy. Maybe one day I will know, Bob. You're right. Absolutely right. Maybe one day I will know. Maybe one day we'll all know. But will we believe it? I don't know. It is validation. It is validation of the last phone ping. It is validation of that. And but again, it doesn't tell us why that phone stopped pinging. Did it stop pinging because it went in the lake? Did it stop pinging because the battery died? Did it stop pinging because Kiely lost it or had it stolen? What does it do? It did, but it's the right time. It's the right time. And also, this person who's come out that this Megan's been talking to, who said she saw lights and she changed her story. I mentioned this morning. She's changed her story and now saying that she didn't ring 911 because we've ascertained from the police scanner. Like, I checked 4 hours of the police scanner the other day. There was no 911 call that came through dispatch. Other people have also checked. So she's now said, no, there was no 911 call because I didn't ring 911. I went to the command center. So I don't know. Is she making it up? I don't know. But it does kind of fit. Thank you so much, Lynn, for the $5 super sticker. Thank you very, very much. You're very kind. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. For me, it's been a very useful exercise to learn how to do this. I can work from this now, but I don't expect anybody else to do. You know, it's like, just because I think it's Kiely's car, you tell me something else that it might be, and I might believe you. If somebody can come up with a better explanation of what that was, then I might believe you, because I might look at it again and I might think, yeah, okay, that makes sense. It could be that. But I don't know. I don't know. Did she intend to do it? I don't know, Helen. I don't know. See, that's another thing. We can add that into the mix. We don't know. We don't know why. We don't know why. How long did any other cars stay after Kiely's car lights went out? Do you know? There was loads of cars that started moving. Like a couple of minutes after, loads of cars were moving. Lights came on, but I think that was the beginning of the mass exodus. But watch it yourself. You know, watch it back. I've played it a few times on this stream, so, you know, rewind and watch it back. There was loads of cars moving, and it seemed that exodus occurred just after. Now, why that exodus occurred, we don't know. And we don't know how many cars were there to begin with, because there could have been a lot of cars there with the lights off, because a lot of cars stayed to sleep there. You know, I just wish Kiely had decided just to sit and sleep there. Yeah. And then, yeah, you get to about 10 to, just after, and there's virtually nothing. So does that mean that most of the cars have left? Or does that mean that some cars have left and some have bedded down for the night? Possibly, because we know some people did stay there overnight. It's a camping area. So No, I've mentioned this about 20 million times. If you've just come in, I'll say it once more time. The camera moves throughout the day. So at the time, it's just unfortunate, at the time when the car was being pulled out of the lake on the 21st, the camera's facing in the opposite direction. So we can't see that. What's for brunch? Oh, is it only brunch where you are? It's nearly 7 p.m. for me, and I've not eaten since about, what time did I eat? About 1. It's not that long, is it? 6 hours, not that long. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you can put in whatever time you want. Put in whatever time you want. Just follow the way I did it and put whatever time you want in. The link to that, I'll just show you once more what the so it's called alertca.live/cam console/1781. That takes you to the Alder Hill camera. The link to that even including the forward slashes, is in the description box. So you can just put in any time you want. So you can take it to any day, any time you want, and it will take you to that feed. So it's dead easy, dead simple. Dead simple. There's cameras all over. You can see all the cameras. I'll show you. If you go to this site, not sharing, am I? If you go to this site, this is alertwildfire.org. Again, I've put the link to this in the description box as well. If you go to this site, no, they're not fake sites. This is absolutely real. This is Alder Hill. That's the live feed at the moment from Alder Hill. It's currently facing away. So that's the camera that it's looking at now. It's 2.4 miles away from Prosser. Prosser's there. It's 2.4 miles, but it's facing away. That's the direction it's facing in at the moment. In a couple of hours, it might move. And then there's all these other cameras. So if you zoom out, there's all these other cameras. Look, each one of them is a camera, and you can click on it and you get the live feed for that camera. Might it not move, but you can. So there's all these cameras, look. Like, great, like all through, like, where there's wildfires, basically. So you've got some cameras there in Washington. You've got cameras in Idaho, cameras in Utah. One in Colorado. Obviously, there are probably more. These are just the cameras that are accessible via this website. So there might be some in other areas that are just not accessible by this website. I don't know, because I only found this website today. But look at all these cameras. So, yeah, loads of cameras to play with. Got to go. I've got to go as well. I'm going to go as well. Should I tweet something more closely? Yeah, exactly. You know, just do your own research. You might expand on what I've done, and you might find more stuff. That's how it works, right? You learn something, you learn how to do it, and you expand on it, and you're a better researcher because you've learned something. Anyway, I'm gonna go, guys. I'm gonna go. So thank you so much for sitting with me. I've got like 800 in the chat still. Thanks for sitting through this with me. These are the kind of lives I find fascinating, and they're my favourite lives. When people get maps out, I'm like, oh yes, it's map time. People get maps out. I love it, but I understand that not everybody. It's not everybody's cup of tea. But at least it's something that perhaps will make you think, and it's something to, I don't know, expand on. That's all I can say. So anyway, seems to be loads of you that have gone all the way through. So brilliant. Thanks for the super chats and super stickers. A special thanks to Blind Bob, because he clearly loves me. Yeah, guys, if you're a member of the channel, I am going to be live tomorrow. I'm going to put the scheduler up later. I've still not decided on a time, but it will be probably like 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. my time, somewhere around there, for members. And it's Jeffrey Dahmer, What Netflix Didn't Tell You. So I'll see you then, if you remember. I'll see you soon if you're not. Bye, guys.